All right, I'm back. More videos. This one is interesting. It's against 2900. And I was playing black. I mean, and now I'm averaging 27 now, maybe not even 26. We'll see. I go up and down. I play goofy sometimes, goofy. And again, for people tuning in, I'm a master, self-taught master. But, hey, I try to create some content for learning experience and educational, like educational entertaining. So keep an eye for that kind of stuff. So e4, h6. This is a way to play the game. You know, h6. It's like I experiment with different stuff. This is 1-0. Doesn't mean anything at all. So he plays knight c3, b6. It's like a wacky stuff here, like a modern. It's not a modern. It's like I think what they call h6 like a card defense, and I b6 is like the Owen defense. So I'm combining two things that they don't really make sense at all. But anyways, f4, bishop b7, and then I suppose I have knight f3. He has knight f3 and e6. So maybe I'm holding, like maybe this kind of stuff like d5. He might play d4. d5 is potential. Bishop e4. He played d4, and here I felt like knight f6. I'm attacking e4. Keep an eye, this is like 1-0, so it's not meant to be like a classical. Bishop d3, bishop b4, and then like here, bishop b4, it does like pin the knight, so this allows him, to defend on e4. So let's say he plays like h3, for example, like a goofy move like this. This allows me to take, and if he takes, bishop takes, that's going to be a free pawn. He cannot take back this pin here, so he has to like first move or castle. An even castle will allow. If he castles, by the way, I could still take and knight takes. So pushing makes a little bit of sense here, of course, and then I play knight d5. He cannot take still because of the pin. So he played bishop d7. I went a little bit too fast here. So c5. So c5 is more like try to compete on the center. Sometimes if you play here, is bishop takes, and there's still knight e4 ideas could happen. But the point of here, bishop here, you cannot really castle easily. And he's just competing towards the center. Like he's trying to say, it's not only you that you play towards the center, it's also me. So here he takes, and so he gets rid of the pin. It makes a lot of sense. Like now the pin is not, problematic. So he takes, and then he took this way. I actually felt like this is kind of interesting. I actually felt like maybe his queen takes. With the idea as bishop takes maybe c3. He can still take here. I can still take here, and then still it's still playable, but once this is still very playable, but here he has to play really. I mean, I felt like here the issue here. Maybe instead of maybe when c5, it makes sense to play here. I mean, I think that's maybe, but he was concerned about bishop pawn takes. I mean, that's actually the reason why he was not liking this, because he felt like c5, a3. I may still take here, takes here, takes here. Then I still go to d5. So the problem with this move, once you play here, maybe it's queen takes with idea here, and you may castle long. You may allow, for black to take on f3. But he went with this one, and it looks like there's some annoying idea here, right? And he doesn't feel like comfortable castling because he feel like the pawn is like under attack, which it is. So he played c4, but the problem here, he's attacking the bishop, but the bishop is heading toward here anyway. It's like heading toward here, and I'm attacking the rook. I'm still keeping this tension going on. You don't normally see this happening, but here the rook has to escape, right? Because I'm attacking it, but that gives the room for queen h4. This is like trouble all across against 2900. So king e2, the only way to defend, but there's another issue. Queen takes, and now it's just simply like a bishop move somewhere, like even bishop here. A lot of trouble happening. You play d5, but that doesn't save anything. By the way, bishop could still take and still check. But I took this way. I was like, maybe the knight c6 is coming, knight d4. I can move the bishop all across. I'm still having the move. So he took, and then I eventually took back. Now it's check. So now this is like a lot of pawns now. The king is in trouble, and he just played here, and I was like, this is not over. I mean, it should be over. It should be over, but g5. The point of g5 is actually kind of interesting. I'm actually threatening mate. like pawn takes, not queen takes. Queen takes is king e2. So pawn takes, you cannot go back here because the queen is heading, the queen is still maintaining that file. And the f2 is being controlled, and the pawn at c5 is doing a great job. The bishop is also doing a great job. So here, he had to take, but then that doesn't stop anything. I still have this, but I'm looking for mate. So here's two issues. Is actually, I mean, potential queen f4, but or even takes. But I was looking at this. This is the most concerning because this move is just simply mate, right? It's just simply mate, or you could simply develop this way, like knight f3. You may defend the mate for a couple of moves, then you have to work your way against like queen f4, and I could take on f3 that way. So here you resign. Again, just because I beat like 2900 doesn't mean I'm like capable enough to be like averaging 2900. And he may have a bad day. He's probably a stronger player. There's the reason why he's an FM. The point is, tactics still relevant, folks, even against stronger players. Right? It still pops in, like even in board games. Knowing your tactics is key. If you don't know the tactics, you're not gonna get anywhere close to this, right? So this is another evidence where tactics is really key in the game, right? And when it comes to bullet, intuition, yes, speed, just like I talked about in the previous video, but tactics is still key. I think the problem here in this game, just to show you, I felt like maybe it's just a move order kind of thing that matters. So around here, maybe just a simple, like, the computer is giving me knight b5, for example. That's good enough. Knight d6. You castle. Black made castle, and black is actually now is in trouble. And if I were to take on d2, I supposedly after here and castles is always knight d6. Black has to be in trouble. But when he played the other way, I'm just opening up the computer just to show you the difference between the two moves. He plays... When he played this move, excuse me though, which move I'm talking about? Knight b5, not here, yeah, this. When he played here, c5, knight takes, he's still winning though. I mean, I would say he's better. Maybe knight e4. So when you play queen h4 is met by g3, right? So this is actually the point. g3 is pretty strong, and then you have to worry about knight d6 in the future. Yeah, knight e4 was a move. But when he played this move, c4, I couldn't understand why he's doing this. He has to do knight e4. So because he didn't do knight e4, things got really, too much here, and allowed black to get so active. Now, the opening is not great. Right, the opening has never been great for black, right? And you play h6 is not really the ideal way. You could, white would control the center after like d4. So the point is, in this video, tactics is still huge, and even in bullet chess. So that's the reason why I keep telling people over and over again that tactics is really key, even even if you believe you're strong enough. How strong is your tactics? Are you able to see tactics in fast fashion, even in board games? So hopefully you're working on your tactics, doing a lot of puzzles, and the road to become a master or grandmaster might be clear. If you do a lot of puzzles, grandmaster level is not about tactics. It takes a lot of other stuff. The road to master, you do have to be, if you're looking for becoming a master, like myself. Tactics comes first, and you might be able to get to 2000 maybe if your tactics is good enough. Then you may have a little bit of other things that you need to do, like like your position understanding, and also like end the game study. You cannot become a master without knowing your tactics. It doesn't work the other way. It has to be tactics first. So hopefully you guys learned something about this video. That's the end of the game was around here. It's all based on tactics, but it's just one game out of a lot that I may not have the same structure like that against a lot of 2900. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one and stay tuned for the next videos.